Trump yesterday for President's Day just got out to spend some time with people here in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
He drove around, and people are going crazy here.
But that's because it's him. He was out there. They're not out there just.
I get that.
Okay.
What I'm saying with this is, Trump. Okay, so my message isn't directed to MAGA people. It's not. My message isn't even directed to Trump. My message is, you had a candidate like Trump. He pushed the envelope. Yes, the Twitter stuff, out of control. Should have been controlled. Look at Biden. It's so quiet. Nothing's going on. Like you said something. You said it's so much peace or climate today, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. But the MAGA crowd had somebody to buy into, okay? What did Trump do? Trump went and converted people. Trump converted people. You have to know that Trump is a converter.
In 2016, he did.
Of course in 2016.
Not in 2020,
I didn't
though.
say 2020.
No,
I said in 2016. Right. Trump is one of the greatest converters America's ever seen. Are you kidding me? Like day one, you're like, Trump's going to run. Out of the 16 people, who's at the top? He's at the bottom. Jeb Bush was at the top with $140 million. Even Huckabee was ahead of Trump. Carson was ahead of Trump.
Well,
and then all of a sudden,
anybody that can get you to vote for Obama twice and then vote for Trump, you're converting.
You're a converter. You're a converter.
Yes.
However, they realized that they didn't have the right allies. And number two, they realized the Republican Party didn't have the right tools like the left does. The left controls all the tools. They didn't have all the tools. This isn't about that the MAGA crowd's going to go away. 50 years from now, we're going to watch a movie. If we're still alive, I'm going to be 92. We'll still be alive because 50 years from now, we're still going to be alive. Apparently, we're going to live to 130.
So we'll be good.
So 20 years from now, 30 years from when we go to movies and we watch the movie of what happened the last 4, 5, 6 years with Trump, you're going to be like, I cannot believe I lived through that. That's what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I cannot believe I lived through that.
Totally.
But he is still going to have loyal followers 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now. This is not going away. If I sat down with Trump and I did an interview, it'd be a very different kind of an interview. Very, very different kind of an interview. It'd be a very different kind of an interview because, my opinion, he's at a point right now that's a very challenging place to be, okay? Because, look, when you do case studies, what's the benefit of reading case studies? When you go to MBA school, what is the only benefit of going to MBA school?
Don't make those mistakes.
Yeah, you learn from other companies when you look at case studies. What is the best case study that Trump should study? What is the best case study that Trump should look at? What's the best case study? What family?
What family?
Kennedy? I don't know.
Kennedy. Okay, Kennedy. What is the case study of Kennedy's family?
Well, you got the Joe, the guy that started it all, right? Who was in politics,
Kennedy,
raising kids to follow him and change the country.
Yeah, telling his kids, hey, one of you guys is going to grow up and be a president. Which one's it going to be? Wear a suit at dinner. Look sharp. He's mentally getting his kids to be prepared to be a president, right? And essentially, they were supposed to be presidents for 16 years. Then the kids would have been presidents. That's the direction it was going. Mm-hmm. So then what happened? Who became the sacrificial guy?
Well, JFK got assassinated.
What happened to the entire Kennedy family?
So
to Trump right now, if he's a true believer and comes back and says, I'm going to come back in 2024 and does what he says he wants to do, if he does that, the same thing that happened to Kennedy's family could potentially happen to the Trump family. Okay, they're going to go after his businesses. He's going to be in court between now and 2024. He got acquitted, which means he can run again in 2023. Jack Dorsey said, I don't care what happens, I'm not letting him back on Twitter no matter what happens, right? So he's still going to have a different platform to be able to post stuff on. You're not going to go on Parler and be able to do much because Parler is going to be all on one side. You need neutral platforms to convert because Trump is the ultimate converter. Agree or disagree, Trump's a master converter. The guy went from being who he was to being a billionaire to being on TV to being all that stuff to being a president. You say, wait, you became a TV guy? Yes. What? You went from your dad was doing rentals on the other side. You went and became, yeah. The Trump name is everywhere, yeah. You wrote books, Wall Street bestseller, yes. You became a president? Yes. What are you talking? So he's at a point right now that do I just lay low to make sure my family can at least have a peaceful life moving forward? Or do I say, screw it, guys? We may have a target from us from some of the most powerful people in the world that more powerful than us, but let's go save this country. It's going to be interesting.
Well,
but the MAGA audience is not going away.
Here's why I disagree with your disagreement
that's good.
of me.
I'd love to hear it.
Because Trump is a cult of personality. That's what he is. He's got that charisma where people would just follow him. If he decides, I'm not going back into politics, it's not worth it, these people, the MAGA followers, are going to feel betrayed. They're going to take it very personally. And there is no more MAGA then, because they were there to follow Trump. And if he bails on them, they'll bail too. And you look at the people that have been arrested, that stormed the Capitol, right? And remember, we were on the air the next day. That happened on a Wednesday. We did the podcast on a Thursday. And I said that day, I guarantee you, they got about 2 weeks. Half these people that got arrested are going to ask to get pardoned, right? And a lot of them did. But, you listen to them now, and they all are saying, I thought I was being led to do this. I thought he was telling us. I mean, I think a lot of them feel betrayed, like he's stepped away.
What percentage, though? What percentage? I mean, what percentage of the 74 million felt? Okay, so first of all, the 74 million people that voted? What percentage voted because they didn't vote for Trump? They voted Republican. What would you say?
I'm going to say a lot, a big
Give me a
percentage.
number.
Okay,
50%?
Because that would be me. I mean, I
You're
was
saying
voting
just
for the
voted
lower taxes and all those things.
So what percentage of the 74 million voted Republican, not voted MAGA?
Okay, I'm going to say, 48, 50, 55%, because I think a lot of the women, the suburban women that don't like Trump, would still vote to keep
Kai,
their taxes
can you pull
low.
up the record of how many people vote Republicans every election? Like how many total votes? What would you say, Adam?
How many just vote Republican regardless?
Paul,
of
what do
who
you
the-
think? What percentage of the 74 million people that voted Republican, not voted Trump? They voted policies, not for Trump.
80%.
Okay, so
Meaning they're voting Republican regardless.
they're voting for his policies, but they're saying this guy's a little bit out of control on Twitter, but I have to vote for his
But I'm
policies.
still
because,
voting Republican.
Okay, so 80%.
I think so,
So
yeah.
then that means out of the 74 million, the 100% diehard MAGA believers are what? Say 20%. What's 20% of 74 million? 15 million.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the 15 million people, how many of them do you believe are like, dude, you forced me to go to Capitol? That's what you did. What percentage of the 15 million you think it
Less
is?
than 1%.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's the case. I think the case is that it's not 74 million MAGA. I think it's 15 million MAGA. I think it's very important to differentiate between those two. You understand what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
not
Yeah,
so it's not like if we break down the math. Are you MAGA? Like are you like diehard MAGA?
No.
Okay, but you're Republican. You voted that way. Okay, so but you're not like going around saying, even though you said 33% a few podcasts ago.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's principles, it's MAGA, and then so I think it's a 20% market, and I don't think that 15 million is going away. I don't think that 15 million is going to go away.
Well, okay, if you look at
I don't think MAGA's going anywhere.
No, I don't think it's going away.
And I don't think Trump is going anywhere either. I think he's such a...
You think he runs 2024?
Oh, yeah, I do.
You think he
I
runs
think he's-
2024?
No, I do not. I do not think he's going to run again.
such an egomaniac narcissist.
Kai, is he going to run
that-
2024?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually do.
You know
I
what?
think he's coming back.
I-
And I
I
think
think-
it's going to be an ugly situation. Trump, if we've learned anything from Trump, he's not the type of person to be like, well, guys, we had a good shot. Thanks, everybody. The day of the insurrection, the day that they were
buddy,
trying
let
to
me tell
hang
you.
Mike Pence, he was not calling in the military. He did nothing to stop that. Nothing. So if we've learned anything from Trump, he ain't backing down from anything. He's going to double, triple, quadruple down
There's
on
one thing I
everything
don't
he
want to
wants
see.
to do.
There's one thing I don't want to see. I don't want to see on the debate stage Trump and Pence. I don't think that's good for
I
America.
would love to see that.
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
don't
And
think
here's
that's
the
good
other
for
thing.
America.
If Trump runs again, he destroys all his businesses and the legacy he built with the brand. I think it's done. And his kids are in serious danger, too, if he runs again. And I think
Yeah.
he'll put his family above it.
Question.
Why would he be in serious danger if he ran?
Well, the brand is already extremely tarnished.
Yeah.
If he gets in again, it'll be dissolved. I mean, there's no one will. I mean, outside that fringe element. But
How about this?
He built an empire.
Here's a bigger question. I think he's going to run again in 2024, straight up.
Does he run as
Does
an
he ha-
independent, though?
I think he's running Republican, MAGA, not independent. No, that's my opinion. Does he have a shot in 2024? Even if he's going against a Joe Biden, even a Kamala, or even a...
I mean, a lot of that, it's so early to even tell because it's just, he's just been president for 1 month, Biden. So we don't know how things are going to, if it opens up, say things open up and Dow goes to 40, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If Dow goes to 40, market opens up, Biden's able to influence Powell to go one more year at 0% interest rate and we have this fake economy and he gets real, I mean, it's going to be tough to, most people want to vote for the same president. Most people don't want to. Historically, we like 2 terms.
Yeah.
We don't like 1 terms.
Right.
Okay, so you have to keep that part in mind as well.
You got to
So-
do pretty damn bad if you're going to only go 1 term.
or it has to be a massive crisis like a COVID coming in where the world shuts down.
Or a third-party candidate like Ross Perot in 92.
Hurts George
Clinton.
Bush. You're right. So there has to be a black, what do they call it? What's the black swan? It has to be some, and this COVID is a black swan. Like, if there's no COVID, what's the percentage Trump gets reelected? Yeah, I mean, so you have to realize COVID kind of threw him out. So I think if the Dow's at 40, he extends the interest rates for 1% more, 1 more year, and it's pretty peaceful. Things have opened up. Restaurants, everybody's happy. They're going to okay, let's just go 1 more year.
Yeah, a long way to go. 1 month out of what, 48?
Exactly.
Yeah,
we got some.
To your point, you brought up the situation where the overall sentiment of the country feels a little more mellow now, less stressed.
I threw it out there yesterday.
Given the situation at hand right now.
I threw it out there as a question. Does there seem to be less tension, less stress? Does the country seem to be a little less on edge? And I'm just going to say, yeah. I mean, I feel it for real in California. It does feel different. And I don't think it's a rally behind Biden. And it certainly has nothing to do with Newsom, our governor, who hopefully we get out here in a few months. I think it's the byproduct of this. There's less bickering every day, this insane thing that we were going through for months and months. I think it feels differently. Walking around, I think, if there was any political motivation behind the shutdowns of what was going on, they're easing up a little bit. Like where I live, the restaurants are open again down or outside. I mean, these little freedoms you take, that you used to take for granted are now a huge deal. To be able to go sit somewhere, go to a gym. These are huge things. And I do think the collective mood of the country is better over the last month.
I agree. I just think the word that comes to mind when I think of Trump in the last 4 years, and it served him well in some cases and it served him not well in other cases, is frenzy. It was always a friend. The news of the day. And Trump tweeted this. And here's who he's fighting with. And here's what he said about this. And Trump did this. It's just so frenzied. And, every day, I mean, he would always, control the media, control the narrative, frenzy. Like, I'm good with Sleepy Joe, just kind of keeping it cool and just go be Sleepy Joe. We've had a very frenzied 4 years. Just get back to basics. Just do the work. It doesn't need to be a rock star. You don't need to be, a personality. Just freaking make politics work.
It's so weird how we are as voters. We go from an Obama, oh, he's a socialist, he's this, to we go to a Trump. Oh, he's so, he's so, always nonstop talking. Like, can't you just be quiet? We go to a guy that never wants to come out and is just quiet. Yeah. We are so radical sometimes.
Well, let me say something. And this is that I've recognized this, and I say this every time that they talk about politics. This is, if you want to know politics in this country, it's a pendulum. We're all the way here.
It's like an oval?
No, not an oval. It's like a half circle.
Marriage is like an oval.
Where's that movie? What movie is that?
Harry and what is Adam Sandler? No, it's the Adam Sandler movie.
I now pronounce you Doug and Larry.
Yeah, Doug and Larry, or something like that. Yeah, it's like an oval.
Chuck and Larry.
Chuck and Larry is what it is. Close.
Whatever.
But a pendulum. Think about it. Even the last 20 years, you go from Reagan, right, all the way to the right or conservative. Bush, 4 years, boom, Clinton, 8 years, boom. Right after that, pendulum, go back to Bush. From Bush, you go to Obama.
But you know what this is like?
Just keep going.
I don't think that's. I'll give you a different analogy. If you want to do analogies, I'll give you. This is like the guy that's like, listen, man, this last girl I dated, I just want somebody that's a little bit calmer. I want her to be calm. Like, this is too much. Like, she's like, and he go date a calm. Dude, I'm so bored. I want somebody that's outside. Once again, and you're like. And then I watched Cocktails the other day, and he's telling the what do you call it? His buddy. Coughlin's Law, the guy, whoever that guy is.
Coughlin's Law.
Yeah, he says, you can never land a billionaire. You can. He's teasing him. So he goes and gets the billionaire, the girl in the corner. Yeah. So he's going to her place, and one of the days he wakes up and she's like, and 2 and 3, and he says every day at 5 o'clock in the morning, like he's struck, dude. You wanted the girl, now you got it. It's like, I just want a family girl. So America can't make up their mind.
We're bipolar.
It's an understatement.
Over the last month, I've literally, for VT Post, I'm going, there just seems to be better stories to cover, better stories to choose. And I'm going, why is that? Have more interesting people just come to the forefront? But here's what it is. Trump is such an oxygen suck. Yeah. He absorbs everything from both sides. Both sides are obsessed with him. The left side hates him so much that's all they can do is talk about him and react to him. Same thing with the right. He dominates everything. Every news cycle. Hollywood changed because of him. Every industry essentially changed because of the feeling. He just sucks all the energy out of a room. Right now, there's other things to talk about. You're hearing more about some business stories and the entertainment. I think Hollywood might go back to being a little bit more Hollywood. I used the analogy of watching Jimmy Fallon last night. It felt like a different different show compared to what he aired the last 2 years. So I think he is such just an outlier as far as the personality of him and what he brings to the table. I think it's better for the country if he probably just says, I had my run and I'm good.
Well, other stories are getting some daylight.
By the way, if you think, again, we may have a different crowd because they're going crazy right now. I'm furious with you guys. If you think he's going to run again, put thumbs up. If you think there's no way in the world he's going to run in 2024, push thumbs down. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.